G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. My name is James, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. It's going to be a little short and sweet today because I have to get ready to go to work, even though I feel like I'm going to show up and it will probably be cancelled because it's raining and we don't go out and dance in the rain. So who really knows what's going to happen at this point, but I want to let you know, first of all, before we start, Merry Mix Media 2023 is linked in the description box below. If for no other reason than you want that return student coupon, and remember you can apply it to multiple courses, it's to the value of US $50, so that makes some of the workshops I currently own free, some of them really heavily discounted, and others will just take that $50 off. You can use it as many times as you want, but it will expire by the end of the year, so please use that if you want to. And also, the coloring competition will end at the end of the year, so make sure your entries are in for that as well if you want to win that prize. Those prizes, I think I said 3. Did I say 3? I've forgotten everything. Go check that out if you want to check that out. All the info's there. And thank you to those who are sharing stuff that you've done from that course. Of particular note, I'm so sorry I forgot the handle of the person who did it, but the felt hand ornaments, the little hand to claws lesson that we did where we trace our hands, a lovely follower has made a felt Christmas ornament, like hanging of like a little felted ornament. It is so cute. It is like unbelievably adorable, and I really now feel very jealous that I didn't do that with my my nieces and nephews. So I'm gonna have to try and figure out a way to do that, because now I just think that's all I need on my Christmas tree is all my little nieces and nephews, little hand to clauses. Oh, it was so good. Made me really happy. And thank you to everyone else who's been putting your work out on social media and who shared it in the group as well. Really love seeing that. Just a joy to see some beautiful Christmas creativity at this time of year. I get so into Christmas. There really can't be enough of it for me. So please keep sharing and make sure you get in there, especially for that coupon if that's something you're looking for. That's usually what I get people the most upset about when they realize it is over. So there's your info. We're going to take a drink. Let's chill. The video today is this. This is my family deco journal. Deco journal is just a term, like a decorated journal. All the pages had something on it before I started. This was actually photos of my family, and I used AI to kind of expand the backgrounds and stuff. I think I've shared this before. I think I flipped it before somewhere. There's a bunch of Australia videos, like the vlog that I did of this trip, and also the reaction that Steve and I did to the vlog of this trip. So I'm sure there's content that you might have come across that is relevant to today's video, but today's video I'm just finishing it up because I didn't want to take this into next year not having it finished, and I want to flip it and then put it over on my bookshelf and call it a day on this particular journal. There's a few other journals that I just really feel like I need to finish up because they've just been in the, like, they're so close to being finished, they're almost done, but I just abandon them. And not like intentionally, I'm not mad about them or anything. I just start something else and I just think, yeah, I'll go back to that because it's such a little bit to finish. Like, of course I'll go back to it, and you just don't. So I'm making an effort to do that. So even though this isn't specifically Christmassy, I'll probably be talking about Christmas. I'm going to talk about Christmas today, but that's what you're going to see on the screen as I do talk about Christmas. I've got my lovely Disney Christmas spirit jersey on. That is where I'm headed today for work. Very excited about that. It is extra special leading up to Christmas Day. I feel like, everyone's just out on Christmas holidays having the best time. Well, when you're at Disneyland, I think they're having the best time. Not when I go to the store. I think I've seen a lot of people very upset at different stores, different retail locations that I've been frequenting lately, because I've been doing my Christmas shopping. I've done all of the good Christmas shopping. Like, I did that around Black Friday, so I was really on top of it this year. But the little incidentals that I get, I kind of just did those this week. I might go out again on the weekend just because I'm curious to people watch. But I really don't need to get anything. So Steve's kind of been sorted in that area. Steve's really the only person I'm buying for this year. We have a few friends that we buy some things for, but it's very small this year. We kept it very conservative. I think this is the first year in a long time that I haven't actually sent a box of stuff home. I kind of do Christmas at home if I visit close enough. So usually I'll go in December, or like October, November, December. This year I went August, September, so it was really early to be doing Christmas. Like, it wasn't even Halloween yet. So it was weird because I did go there and I did kind of buy a few things for the children, like some dress ups and stuff. So I felt like I was doing like a Christmas of sorts, but it certainly wasn't Christmas. Um, so usually we would send a little box home. I will just say, I told my family this, I'm like, it's just so expensive right now. Like, I think we'll just take a year off. You don't send me anything, I won't send you anything. So at this point, we just sent our Christmas cards. And I do have some things I couldn't help myself. I bought them, but I think I'll just either do them next year or I'll give them to them like when I go home next, which I don't know when that will be. Excuse me, my nose. I will not be elaborating. My nose is an issue, that's all. End of. So I didn't send anything home. I feel a little bit slack about that, to be honest, but also I don't because I'm so dirty at my family right now. Oh, I don't know who I should be mad at. I'm going to choose my brother to be mad at because he can hack it, but yeah. He said last year that he wanted to do Christmas with the family. And so last year, Steve and I were very certain that we were going to make sure we had a bunch of time off over Christmas specifically and do Christmas in Australia with the family because it was per request of my brother. And my brother never requests anything like that. So I thought, well, it must be pretty special. You know, we should really try and make that happen. I think originally I said no just because it was my brother. I like to say no. But then I thought, no, it is really special. We should definitely do that. So we were fully planning on it, and you know, it got halfway throughout the year, and then suddenly the idea I think just got abandoned. I think people just had different things they were thinking about doing, and yeah, he was just like, yeah, we're not really thinking of doing that anymore. And I thought, oh, okay, well, whatever. You know, I won't be missing out on anything, so I guess it's fine. So that's why I went in August, September, end of August, early September, and I got really cheap flights then. And it was the only time off that I had from all the other stuff that I had planned for the end of the year. And so I thought, all right, well, this will work out. There was still a part of me in the back of my head that thought, maybe they're going to do Christmas. I don't really know, but I'm sure it was all, you know, they're not doing that. I think even my sister had completely different Christmas plans up until like a month and a half ago. So all of that to say, they are actually all doing Christmas together, and they're all currently together at Southwest Rocks, and I'm so jealous. I have never felt this homesick, and this is including like pandemic times. I was deathly homesick at that point, but this was gut-wrenching the other day. My mom got on the FaceTime, and I'm being dramatic. I'm obviously upset about it, but it's no one's fault. Just being dramatic. Steve's already heard all of this, so I'm glad to have a new audience hearing it today. My mum was on the FaceTime, and she was showing me the house, and it just, like, I felt sick to my stomach with how homesick I was. Like, the FOMO was so bad, I felt like I could throw up. She was showing me all the Christmas lights, taking me on a tour through all of her decorations, which I already know, but I love seeing them because I love Christmas. And so I was looking at all the decorations, and then she took me out to see the little cardboard. She has these MDF plywood decoupaged cutouts. I don't know where she got them from. I feel like my mum used to teach like scripture at a little like school, like a primary school. And I think she got them there because I think there was this book that you could order things from that was lots of like it was like Bible-based like arts and crafts type things. I think it's from there because I don't know where else she would have got them. Either that or the Christian bookstore. But she got these, essentially they were like folded up pieces of paper, but you would open them up and they were big printed images, and you would decoupage them, like you'd glue them onto these plywood boards, and then she used a saw to, you know, cut them all out. So there were just these big, you know, nativity scene, and then there was this big, you know, Dickens carolers, like, and they're all kind of freestanding, and they're all out in the front yard. Anyway, I've known about these since I was a child. Like, we've had them for the longest time. I actually thought she got rid of them. I didn't know they still existed. So it was just such a shock to see it all set up. It's been the longest time since my mum's even decorated the house for Christmas. I feel like I haven't even seen that since I was a kid. Not the inside, she's always doing that, but the outside, like putting the Christmas lights up on the house. I mean, that house was lit up. Very, very jealous. Very big FOMO. Very, very homesick. So anyway, now I'm dirty at my whole family. Not really. I'm going to blame it all on my brother. But even he, I don't think, was planning on coming. I don't really know what changed everyone's mind, but they all eventually made it work. I'm way too busy. Steve is way too busy. At this point, it was way too late to go, and the flights are super expensive. So unfortunately, it's just not going to work out. But I think maybe I'll plan on going next year. I'm not quite sure. I think we're supposed to be doing some family trip at some point, and I don't want to collide it with that. So next year's going to be really iffy about when I actually see my family, because I'm very booked up at the first, like, I'd say the first half of the year. Let's move on to that topic before I get even more angry about not being at home for Christmas. Don't get me wrong, I actually really love Christmas here. I love that it gets cold. That is a new fantasy for me. The cats really love the Christmas tree, so that's nice. This is like the only time of year where they are nice to each other. And Steve is here, obviously, and Steve loves receiving gifts. The love language, receiving gifts. Like very physical, has cost a lot of money, not physical, like tangible, can unwrap it type gifts. So that makes Steve really, really happy. I really do love Christmas here, and I really love dancing at Christmas specifically, and dancing at Disneyland, just because everyone that goes there is already on Christmas holidays and they're going to have a great time. It does get very busy at the park, but from my end, where I'm just performing, that just means more audience. So I love that. Not so much as a guest. It can be a little much. I don't plan on going on any attractions when I visit the park in the holidays, usually just to eat and watch entertainment, which I'm so happy with. But yeah, that's been great. The other thing, so what brings me to what I will probably be very busy with at the start of next year, I have multiple, like an abundance. I don't know how this happened. Obviously, I went to auditions, but I still don't know how this happened, because I've been going to auditions ever since I got to the States. I have like maybe more than I could choose from at this point, dancing opportunities. I just got offered another show at Knott's Berry Farm. You might have seen more recently, I was offered the new Pixar parade that is happening at Disney's California Adventure starting next year. And I said before that I was also doing another show at Knott's Berry Farm called It's Your Life. So at present, I have 3 new things to look forward to in the dance space, which is so exciting. I've also been still doing some of these special events, which are also really exciting. I have another one of those that I'll be doing next week. So I've just been like abundantly blessed with all of this. I don't really know how it happened, and I want to just go into all the well, I was just patient and I waited. No, I really wasn't even patient. I was super impatient. I was very depressed about it. I was very upset about it. So, I was a big brat. Maybe whinging works. Maybe that's the takeaway from all of this. Just keep whinging until you get what you want. Quote it. That's gonna be my new quote. I don't know how it all happened, but I'm very, very thankful for it. Very grateful nonetheless. It all seems like it's going to work out, so I kind of say tentatively, because I don't like to count my chickens before they've hatched. Until I'm in a costume on the stage doing the show, it's not happening, right? So all of these are offers that I have accepted, and I'm really excited to go and do, but, things change. Hopefully everything works out. I think the thing that scares me the most is I haven't danced that intensely, that frequently in, I don't even know how long. I mean, the Goring 20s, like the Halloween show that we did, that I feel like was 4 nights max. Maybe we did we might have done 5 nights. And that was really late at night, and that was actually kind of difficult. So yeah, maybe I am ready for it. I don't know. I feel like I'll get through it, but it is a little bit of a concern in my brain. I have to prepare myself a little bit. I'm super stoked for how much weight I might lose. You won't even recognize me. By June next year, new me. You will have no idea who this is. But I'm really excited. So I'll be sharing all of that with you. If you don't follow me on Instagram, that's kind of where I share a lot of that information. I know I do share it on here too, but I only see you kind of once a week here. But on Instagram, I'm definitely checking Instagram every day, posting every other day-ish. But yeah, so if you're not over there, that's a fun place to catch up with me. I really need to do the Etsy shipping. That just crossed my mind. Let me make a little note of that, because it's December 22nd. Who really knows? There's only a couple of orders, but I'm sorry to you guys, because at this point, even sending them out today, they're probably not going to get to you until later next week, because it's so close to the holidays. I'm glad I've done all my Christmas shopping. I've got nothing left to do, but I'm going to go out again. I really want to people watch. I don't know where I want to people watch though. Target? I've already been to Target. I got my incidentals from there. I'm curious to go to Five Below. I've never been to this store before, but I keep getting ads for it. And it's just like little nicks and knacks and bricks and bracks. And I feel like maybe I just want to have a look and see if there's not like a fidget spinner I can put in Steve's stocking or something. Oh goodness, there's such a loaded story about a fidget spinner. I'll tell you. I said to Steve years ago, this is when we first had Christmas together, I think. I can't even tell you what year it was, but it was a long, long time ago. We were having a discussion with one of our friends, and I said stocking stuffers to me are little pieces of junk, like just things you would never really buy yourself. They don't cost that much money, like little games, like a little Sudoku puzzle book. Like it's not junk, but it's not stuff that you're like, oh, I must go out. Maybe people do, certainly not me. Like I don't go out and think, well, I need to go and get some new fidget spinners. So I specifically said like that's what I would put in a stocking is you're getting a fidget spinner. That's it. And then Steve was like very adamant, and his friend, well, our friend. At that point, I was like, "You're no friend to me." They were very adamant that stocking stuffers were not that. They were not that at all. And I was like, "Yeah, but maybe we just have all different opinions about what stocking stuffers are." They were certain that what stocking stuffers are like socks, underwear, pajamas, toothpaste, like deodorants, like things that are kind of these life necessities or like things that you actually need, but that aren't full presents. And here I am sitting thinking like pajamas is a full present. Undies is a full present. Like that's not, especially the undies that Steve wants. Whenever I go to Australia, he's like, "Can you please get me Bonds?" Because they don't sell Bonds here, and he just really loves Bonds. I only wear Bonds. That's just what I wear. I just have always worn them, and so he wants those. Bonds are not cheap. Bonds are not something I'm putting in a stocking with a chapstick and being like, "Oh yeah, it's just a nothing, whatever." This is a $30 pair of underwear sometimes. Like the ones you buy individually, the microfiber trunks, those are like $30 Australian, which is like $2 American, but still. Anyway, we had a full-on argument about it, so now every time I think of a fidget spinner and stockings, I think how heated I got. I told everyone what that was. We just come from very different experiences. You know, there's some things that when you get married and you're with a partner, you just realize, wow, we were all raised really differently, and marriage has brought us together, and we will now have to choose a very compromising middle ground. But I really hope that it skews more my way than your way, because Steve, I think Steve's Christmas was literally ask for everything, get everything. And my Christmas was if my mum found something I hadn't used in a while, she would wrap it up in newspaper and give it back to me. So actually that was birthdays. Christmas, we were actually always pretty spoiled, but gift giving in general, we just have very different feelings about it. Steve's actual primary love language is receiving gifts. And in my head, I always translate it to like, yeah, like spiritual gifts or, you know, intangible, you know, the gift of my presence. Steve is like, no, it's gifts. It's tangible money gifts. Like, give me gifts. That's what I love. And it is true. Nothing makes him happier than receiving literally any gift. So Christmas is great for that. He's very happy with me on Christmas. Oh, no, it's been great. We did our traditions. We did our Christmas card. I did do a behind the scenes video of that as well. So we'll probably post that on Christmas Day. It turned out so well. We had a completely different vision for it before we started. And then we both kind of butted heads with what we thought that should be. And then we were like, well, let's just leave that. Can we think of something else that we both agree on? And yeah, he came up with it very quickly and I was very on board with it. So we did it and I loved it. I think it looks crazy, but I'm excited to share that with you. He's very strict about it being on December 25th. So I can't, it's already in my 5-year journal. Pardon me. I have to be certain that I don't accidentally share it, but I did that little behind the scenes video. So you'll be able to see just how thrown together it all was. We did it on his new camera, actually. He got a new Canon R5, which is very crazy. He's been doing a lot more shooting lately, really focusing on trying to be published. He has been published a couple of times. He's very excited about that. One shoot we worked on way earlier in the year did get picked up with a magazine, but then the actors strike, I don't know, like the SAG strikes, what were they? You know, the union strikes that they had? You weren't allowed to promote any of that work that was struck, and this actress was on one of those shows that you weren't allowed to promote. So the magazine couldn't run that story because it would be promoting that struck work. And then so Steve was devastated because as soon as we submitted it and it got picked up, that's when the strike happened. And so for all this time, it could never be shown. And then when the strike had lifted, Steve reached back out and was like, is it going to happen? Is it not? And we didn't really get a response from anybody. So he was going to shop it around to a few other publications. And then I think just last week, they got back to him and was like, we're going to run it. Like, obviously the strike is lifted. We're going to run it. So now it's so weird because I went and looked back at the photos. They're great, but even from then to now, like I just think Steve has like really grown. He's having this really intense growth spurt, and I think it's just fueled with a lot of passion he has for just putting it all together and doing it, and he's producing really great results that he's so happy with. I think that is really fueling him going forward. And I see the same thing that happens in art journaling a lot too, and especially with a lot of people that I do workshops with. A lot of my students sometimes get the biggest, burst of energy when they've done one piece that they're very happy with. And you can't take for granted how good it feels to ride that wave of success. And I always worry a little bit if you ride it too hard and then suddenly have a moment where you just create something you don't like. Some people just really cut it off hard there. But that happens a lot, and it happens to all of us. And you just kind of hope that you can kind of swing from that vine. It's like Tarzan, you just kind of swing from that vine and ride it out until you have to grab the next one. And there might be a period of free fall for a little bit, but you'll grab onto another one and you'll swing that forward too. So I really like that. It's been interesting seeing him go through that, because as much as I'm a part of it, I also feel like an onlooker, to his journey that way, because it's something I have a passion for. I really love fashion photography. I love photography in general. I love all of that, but it's never something I have really wanted to pursue in any kind of real way. I've never wanted to make money from it. I've never wanted to like make a career of it. I've never even really been interested to know how to do it properly. I more just enjoy the fruits of everyone else's labor when it comes to photography. I've done it myself and I do enjoy doing that, but even then, like, I didn't want to learn too much. I don't really want to know how to do it. Like, just let me play, let me do it. It's something I like to just dabble in. But actually watching Steve do that, it's very, I love watching anyone's journey that way. I love watching anyone who's passionate about something go after that creativity and then be so inspired by them, their own journey, that they keep going and going and going. So I've really enjoyed watching that, because I felt like I've been watching it since the pandemic, since I suggested and gave him that course that he should learn studio lighting, very selfishly because I love fashion photography and I wanted him to do it. So now to see him actually, fully take the charge, and he works with stylists, and, stylists bring in all of these clothes, and there's stylist assistants, and then there's models and hair and makeup, and like, you're just seeing this whole team of people all throwing themselves at these projects, really for nothing. Like, there might not come anything from it, but you just have this good time, you create this stuff and you put it out into the world and you're proud of it. And I feel like just doing it like that is so special. I feel like he obviously has the talent to make a career of it if he wanted to. It might be where he ends up. I'm really not quite sure. I don't know where life is going to take either of us, to be honest. But if that is something he wanted to do, like, I'm fully supportive. I get a little nervous because any creative field is just so up and down, right? You just never really know how it's going to work out. But I think what is so exciting about this phase right now is, like, he's right in that moment where I think when you've made a career of something, or you've started making money doing something, there's a period where you look back on where you weren't making money from it and you weren't doing it as a job, that you remember really fondly as a very, like, kind of innocent time. And for me, that's very much after my accident, when I was just discovering it all on YouTube, and when it was all fresh and all of the creators were fresh and new to me, and I didn't know what these things were. I'd never heard of a Dilutions. I've never heard of a Tim Holtz Distress Ink. Like, I've never encountered any of this stuff before, and everything is new and exciting. And I really fondly cherish those memories and that particular period where you feel like you're just free falling into it all. And so that is where I feel like Steve is right now. And it's really nice to be able to watch it, but it's also nice to be able to say, like, just enjoy this now. Like, really enjoy it. Like, don't even worry if it doesn't become anything right now. I think eventually it just will. And there's a nice part of the next step in growth as well to enjoy, but this one always just feels the most innocent. Like, this first part where you're so passionate you're willing to give up 6 of your nights in a row to go and do it all for free. Like, that's really special. And I hope it doesn't sound jaded, because I have heard this before from some creators, not even in art journaling or anything. Some people who, like, specifically drag queens, some drag queens that I've watched before, who would get dressed up in drag and go out for drinks with their friends and, have a night out and just be in drag. It's never been me. Couldn't be me. I'm an ugly woman. But, you know, then they go on RuPaul's Drag Race or something, and then they get a bit of notoriety, and then they get bigger gigs and bigger bookings, and they're doing it constantly, and they're actually making their income from drag. And then suddenly, I mean, not suddenly, I think it happens over time, you know, they're just not really willing to go and be in drag and just get drinks with people anymore. Sometimes it's not even conducive to the fame that they get from it. Like, they actually can't go and do that because they can't be low profile anymore. So there's certainly reasons for it, but I think even they kind of look back on those days as like very innocent, very naive, and it's a really sweet time in your journey to be able to reminisce on, and even sweeter if you know to enjoy it while you're in it. Like, I don't really think I knew that when I was doing it, because I had no intentions of being an artist, you know, for my business. I had no intentions of turning journaling into a career path of sorts for myself. So you don't really know any of that, but I think I can see that with Steve. So I'm very keyed in to just enjoying this process now, and hopefully just reminding him to do the same, because it can be very overwhelming. There's periods where you think about the life you want to live from what you're creating, and you can feel like it's a daunting thought to even know how to get there. Like, how are you supposed to turn your passion for creativity into a career? Can be so confusing. There are more opportunities now than there have ever been, especially with social media and, you know, the internet, but we all take a different path to it, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and some of us can be very inflexible, like myself, and that can be a challenge in its own right. But yeah, I don't mean to get too philosophical. It's just been really, really nice, and he's just got so much that he's about to share and, you know, experience as well. So if you don't follow him on Instagram, that he's over there doing his thing too. I just really like it because it's one of my other jobs. At this point, I do JLB Creative is my main job. I dance at Disneyland and at Knott's Berry Farm as like my part-time jobs. And then I have a part-time job with Steve Lamona's photography, where I am basically Steve's assistant, but also modeling, posing coach. So those are the credits that I get. Actually, I think I got a styling credit on one of his published editorials. I did style one of them, but I'm not really looking to be a stylist. I think I just love watching it all. Sometimes I just want to watch and really not have anything to do with it. I do like posing, and I do like, you know, helping and instructing and stuff, but my mum always said that her dream job was to work in a bridal store and just be with the brides and as they try on dresses and like give them champagne and drink champagne with them. So basically just a hype woman. I think that's all I want to be. I think I just want to be in the studio, sat on the couch, drinking champagne, watching it all unfold, and just being the hype person, just saying it's all going great. You know, some people do actually bring their own hype squad, and that's really fun. But yeah, that's been really exciting to watch too. I don't think I've done a lick of Christmas journaling, just in case you were curious. I've been very busy trying to do my 5-year Hobonichi. I take that to Disney with me, and in between my breaks, I work on that, and it is getting impossible. Impossible. Why are you down there? Does anyone know that? The Brandy Cinderella. It's getting impossible because at this point, when I write over that hump, I don't even think it's 90. I think at this point I've approached like 130 degrees. I'm writing upside down, basically. It's insane. I'm so excited to almost finish it. I don't know how. I mean, I think I took a photo of how chunky it got kind of halfway through this year. I'm curious to do another photo because I think I've just gone so crazy with it towards the end of the year, and now finishing up all the pages, it has again doubled in size. So all of that to say, how many years did I tell myself, I'm not putting ephemera in here, no, you know, not too much, no, just little drawings, no stickers, no washi tape, just really thin things, like every month, maybe just a couple of pages. Not the case. I think every single page has a washi tape or a sticker or a photo sticker or something insane. I mean, nothing bulky, but just that alone on 365 plus pages is enough to make it huge. Huge. But I'm loving it. Really, really loving it. I'll be a little sad to put it on the shelf when it's done, I have to say. There's like a really weird comfort to it, like the little chunky red journal that I carry around. But I'm really excited to start the new one as well, because I just think it'll be a nice writing experience. There's something a little off-putting about trying to write in it at this point, just because it's a physical challenge to get it done. Anyway, I'm noticing the time. I actually have to get this exported and uploaded to YouTube. Hopefully you've had a wonderful day. Have a great weekend into Christmas as well. Hopefully you have a really wonderful holiday season for whatever you celebrate. I'll be celebrating Christmas, giving Steve lots of presents. He'll be very, very happy. And I'll be at Disneyland all week as well. So come see us if you're around. If you're near Disneyland, pop by the parade route and you may or may not see a familiar face. Hopefully I'll see you there. Message me on Instagram if you do come, because I do like to look out for people if they come. Other than that, thank you so much for being here this year. I think there's one more video before we reach the new year, right? Yeah, the 29th. All right, so I'm not going to say Happy New Year just yet, but have a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate, or whatever you do celebrate. Be safe, be well, be happy. If you can be. If it's a choice and you can choose to be happy, be happy. If not, be well. And then I will see you again soon. Goodbye, everyone.